We start framing a wall by separating the sill from its header, dragging it back into its position, and then bringing the header back into its position. The next thing is to toenail the cripples to the header, following the layout lines. We hammer in 2 8-penny nails from one side, and after they're all in position, we go back and toenail from the other side. That's the code. Then we flop the header unit on its side and position and nail off the bottom cripples. 2 16 pennies through the sill into each cripple. That'll do it. And right there, you can see our layout lines. Next, the king studs get nailed on both sides, and this holds the whole window frame together. Make sure to flush the king stud with the end of the bottom cripple. Nail a couple of 16s into the end of the rough sill, and at the top, flush it up. 3 or 4 16s through the king stud into the header. That'll hold it just fine. The nice thing about building this way is that if all the pieces have been cut to the proper length, then the rough opening should be just right. Here's another look at how I do it. First, I separate the sill from the header and position them both. I know roughly where these go because the king studs are on either side, and I can spot where the top end is. Next, I position the bottom cripples. Then I nail them off. And then I do the same thing at the top. Finally, I nail everything together with the king studs. Again, make sure all those ends are flush. And that's all there is to it. We work our way around the building nailing all these units together. And what is important is that you complete each step before starting another. With all the window frames nailed together, we can start building walls. We scatter all our studs, and with these in place, we pull loose the top plate, walk it back, and begin nailing. Here we're nailing to one of the window frames, following our layout on the plate. Joe and I find it more efficient to start at one end and just keep working down the line, bringing up pieces of top plate as we need to. And you'll notice this wall is raised up off the floor a bit. That's because it's sitting on other walls. Now it's true, we're pretty fast at hand driving these 16-penny sinkers, but if you have a nail gun, you might want to use it. This is a channel unit. Another wall will intersect at this point. It's nailed together with 16-penny nails along the side and through the plates. Once the top plate is nailed on, we nail off the bottom. Now the double plate goes on. Joe holds this end 5½ inches back for the lap. And I cut the other end just to one side of an interior wall channel. Now the idea is to nail off the double plate along the entire length of the wall, leaving gaps only where the double plate of intersecting walls will lap over. You can see that pretty clearly here. Long, heavy walls are usually broken into sections. Joe's just nailing up to a place where we're going to break this wall. The double plate has to lap at least 4 feet at any break in the top plate. On the other side of the break now, Joe starts the nails. We'll finish them off after the walls are raised. Walls need to be braced. The code requires a brace in each corner and one every 25 feet. You could use plywood sheeting. Here we're using 1x6. We just position it diagonally across at least 4 studs, letting the ends run long. This 1x6 is flush with the wall face. No marks needed. Just cut along each side of the brace with your saw set to the right depth and work your way down. Then, with the 1x6 out of the way, just lay your saw over on its side and remove the waste carefully with a plunge cut. Well, here's how the brace fits. I put it in position, then nail off the bottom end and the first stud with 8-penny nails. And then just start nails over the remaining studs and the top plates. They'll get nailed off after the walls are plumbed. And finally, I mark the trimmers to length and cut them accurately. These trimmers get tacked in place with a 16-penny nail. They'll be adjusted later on when we get the windows set.